Hello children, let's come back to our maths class. Today we are going to continue with exercise 2.2. We have already started with exercise 2.2. Yes children, in the previous classes? Yes. So today we are just going to continue with that exercise. So take down your classwork. Get ready with your classwork children. Write down today's date, day. Write down today's date, day. Okay. So I have started with sum number 1 and we have done the first sum and I have told you to do the third and the fourth as homework. Okay children? The third and the fourth subpart was homework. I told you that I'll be doing the second subpart in the next class which dealt with the negative sign. So we were dealing with only the positive numbers, positive rational numbers. Now you have a negative rational numbers. So take down subpart 2. You can just continue. No need to take a new page or no need to mention the exercise over there, because already we have started the exercise. Just mention subpart 2. This is from exercise 2.2, the second subpart from question number 1, second subpart, minus 5, 3 by 11. So here we are going to deal with a negative rational number. So I'll be telling you how to do the sums. Okay children? Take on the question. It's minus 5, 3 upon 11. Now let's go for the step. Now, what are we going to do? Now, here this number is not in the form of rational number. This number is in the form of mixed fraction. What is the form of rational number? It should be in the form of P upon Q, where Q is not equal to 0. Remember the form of rational number children? It should be in the form of P upon Q. You have your 3 upon 11. You may say, okay, we have P upon Q, but here we have a 5 extra attached to it. That means this is a mixed fraction. So you are going to convert this mixed fraction into improper fraction. So let's go for the conversion. You would have studied the conversion of mixed fraction in your lower classes. Let's see how to go for the conversion. So first of all, keep this minus sign as it is. You are not going to touch the minus sign. Just keep it as it is. So I'm just going to write minus outside and I'm going to change this mixed fraction into improper fraction. So how to go for the conversion children? First of all, you have to multiply and here you have to add. This is the way of changing the mixed fraction into improper fraction. Just see here children. So what will be in the denominator part? Multiplication. And what you are going to do in the numerator part? You are going to add the number. So how to write down this number? Just see here. It is 5 into 11 plus 3. Are you getting my point children? So how is the procedure? 5 into 11 plus 3. Okay. Now upon. So we have completed the numerator part and for the denominator part it will be kept as it is. That is 11 will be remaining as 11. So 11 will remain as 11. I'll just give you one more example. Suppose you have 4, 2 upon 9. How to convert this? Let's see the conversion. So first of all, remember, you just put the sign into plus. So how you will write now? 4 into 9 plus 2. Okay. Upon the denominator part, you have to write the same number. What is the number in the denominator here? It's 9. So just keep it as 9. Getting the point children? Okay, just go for one more sum. If you have 1, 3 upon 4. How to go for the conversion? Put a sign here. This is into, this is plus. So how to write down the numerator part? It will be 1 into 4 plus 3. 1 into 4 plus 3 upon. What is the denominator here? The denominator is 4. So you have to write the number 4 in the denominator part as it is. Getting the point children? So 1 into 4 plus 3 upon 4 and then we have to go for the calculation part. Is the way of writing the numerator and denominator is clear to you? Yes. Okay. Now let's come back to the sum. Exercise sum over here. Okay. So we have just written the numerator and the denominator form. So denominator is taken as the same number. The numerator we have to make some changes. So 5 into 11 plus 3. Okay children. So just keeping the minus sign as it is. I'm not going to touch the minus sign. I'll just keep it as it is. 5 into 11. We have seen the BODMAS rule. Yes. Actually it is called as BEDMAS rule. What is the BEDMAS rule? This B stands for bracket. E stands for exponential. Exponential means the power. What is the meaning of exponential? The power part, like 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 2. This will be studying in your higher classes, okay? And D is for division, and M is for multiplication, A is for addition, and S is for subtraction. So this is the rule that we follow when we simplify the sums with one or one. If you have the single operation, no need to worry about. We can just go with the single operation. But if you have more than one operation, like if you have two operations or if you have three operations, if you have more than that, we have to follow a rule. What is that rule called? It is called as BODMAS rule. Mostly we say BODMAS rule, okay? But actually, this is BODMAS rule. When you say BODMAS rule, bracket off, it comes off. We have sums based on off. You sometimes may have 2 or 4. We have like this also. That is BODMAS rule. Okay, in some cases we use BEDMAS rule. BEDMAS rule is where you can deal with the powers. Okay, children. So remember, you have two rules: BODMAS, BODMAS, where O stands for off, and BEDMAS where E stands for exponential. Exponential is the power. Like 2 raised to 2. What is 2 raised to 2? 2 into 2. So 2 2s are 4. Like, so you have to follow the rules. Like if you have a BEDMAS rule, the first thing is you have to solve the bracket. Then you have to solve the power. Then you have to go for division. Then you have to go for multiplication, addition, subtraction, and so on. And children, just remember, if you have division and multiplication, I'll just explain you these rules, because this is the important thing that you have to follow when you have more than two operations used. Suppose you have 2 into 3, okay, divided by 2. So now here you have multiplication and division. So here we are going to use two operations. What are the two operations used here? Multiplication and division. Okay. So which one to be followed first? You may think that we have to go for the division first. No. See here, when you have a rule, okay, I just go for BODMAS rule. If I talk about this rule, the first one is division and the next one is multiplication. Okay, children? You have the order division and then multiplication. But what does it mean actually is the division and the multiplication are having the same weightage, or they are equally treated. How are you going to treat division and multiplication? You are going to treat division and multiplication equally. That means if division comes first, you are going to do division. If multiplication comes first, you have to do multiplication. So they are friends. Division and multiplication are friends. So they are equal. You cannot just choose which one is the best over here. So first choice, first. If division comes first, go for division. If multiplication comes first, go for multiplication. And again, same way, addition and subtraction are friends. So they are equal. Like if you go for, if the addition is coming first, you have to go for addition. If subtraction comes first, you have to do the subtraction part. Getting my point, children? But if you have division and addition, what will be done first? Division will be done first, and then you have to go for the addition. Getting my point, children? So remember, see here now, what is coming here? Multiplication and division. So what will be done first? Yes, we have to do multiplication first. Okay, if you have 6 divided by 3 plus 2. Okay, I'm just giving some operations here. 6 divided by 3 plus 2. So division, addition. What are the two operations used here? Division and addition. So which one are you going to do first? Yes, here no problem. Here we have to do the division part first. So I have to do the division part. 6 divided by 3, that is 2, plus 2. That the answer is 4. So what will be done? First, division. If you have 6 divided by, okay, I'll just take some other number. 16 divided by 8 multiply by 9. Okay. So I have taken expression 16 divided by 8 multiplied by 9. So here what are the two operations used? This is division and multiplication. I have told you they are friends. So they are equal. That means I have to do the division part first. See here what did I say? You have to do the multiplication first because multiplication has come first. Okay. Here what is coming first? Division. So remember, when you are dealing with a BODMAS rule or a BEDMAS rule, you have to follow the operations properly. Okay, division, multiplication are equally weighted, and addition and subtraction are equally weighted, so they are same. So you cannot what you can say, you cannot break addition and subtraction, and you cannot break division and multiplication. They should be considered the same. Okay children, shall we start with the sum now here? So what you have here, you have a multiplication and a addition. So we know that multiplication addition means first a multiplication should be done. So 5 into 11 is 55 plus 3 upon 11. What is that? 55 plus 3 upon 11. Okay, let's go for the addition of the numerator part, children. What do you get there? This is equal to, I'll just put your equal to sign. So this is equal to minus of 58 upon 11. I'll just remove the bracket because I have simplified the value. So what I get? 58 upon 11. And I have to just write down the numerator sign. Children, remember that you should not write the minus sign in the denominator part. Even though if you have a negative sign in the denominator, it should be taken to the numerator part. That is the standard way of writing the fraction. Never to keep a negative sign in the denominator. Okay. So you have to write the negative sign in the numerator part alone. So what is the answer, children? It's minus 58 upon 11. So we have changed the fraction. Okay. We have just changed the mixed fraction into improper fraction. Minus 58 upon 11. Okay, now we have to go for the question part. What was the question? The question was to change the rational number into decimal. Yes. So we converted the mixed fraction in the form of rational number. Yes, children? We got a rational number. Is it in the form of P upon Q? Yes. We are having a numerator and we are having a denominator. That means we have converted in the form of rational number. Now what are you going to do? Now you have to change this in terms of decimal number. How to change into decimal number? That's what we have to divide. Come on, let's go for the division. Do not take the negative sign, children, okay? You have to just keep the negative sign apart. Do not touch that negative sign. After getting the answer, we'll just put the negative sign. We have to add a negative sign to the answer. That's all. So now what you have here, 58 upon 11. So what I have told you, the denominator part goes out. Remember, denominator goes out. So what is the denominator? 11. Yes. So 11, 58. Let's go for the division, children. It's 58 divided by 11. So 11 is in the denominator part. So 11 goes out. So what do you get here? Let's go for the division. Here you have 58. So what is the closest multiple of 11? 11 5s are 55 and 11 6s are 66. Okay children. I cannot take the number 66 because this is greater than 58. So I have to take a smaller number to 58, which is 55. 11 5s are 55. You have to use a proper spacings and you have to present the numbers very carefully, children. Do not congest the numbers. You have to write the numbers one below the other so that it looks neat and tidy. Okay, children? Do not just have your own way of representing. Write neatly one below the other. Wherever you have to put the number in proper placement. So 11 5s are 55. Okay. Now 8 minus 5, 3. This is simple calculation. From 58, you are going to remove 55. From 58, 55 is removed. So what will be the answer, children? 3. Wherever you are able to do the calculations directly, mentally, you can do it directly. Okay, no need of showing any calculations. So 58 minus 55 is 3. So I have written here directly. Okay, now 3 doesn't goes in the table of 11. We don't have 3 in the table of 11. So what I'm going to do is I have to add here one 0. I'm going to introduce here 0. So before I introduce a 0, you have to put a decimal point. What is the first thing? Because your number 3 is there, yes student, and 1 11s are 11. So the number starts from 11, but you have a number here 3 which is less than 11. So what you have to do? You have to put a decimal point. Okay. Once you put a decimal point, what you will do? You have to add a 0. You can add 0. So let's put here 0. Okay, now let's go for the calculation. 11 and this is 30. You don't have a number 30 in the table of 11. 11 threes are 33. So we have to see the closest number. So 11 threes are 33. Okay, and 11 twos are 22. Getting the point, children? So you cannot take the number 33. Which number you have to take here? Yes, we have to take the number 22. So put here 11 twos are 22. What do you get when you take 22 from 30? Simple calculation. The answer is 8. If you have, you can just go for the borrowing also, but you are grown ups here. Children, you can do the calculations directly. You get the answer as 8. 30 minus 22 is 8. Okay. So now since we have introduced the decimal point, I can just go on adding the zeros. No need of mentioning the decimal point again and again. One is enough. One decimal point is enough. So I just put here 0. 11 sevens are 77. Closest to 80 is 77. Then you have 99. No, we have 88. Yes. 11 eights are 88 and 11 sevens are 77. So 88 is a bigger number. So you have to take a smaller number. So 11 sevens are 77. 80 minus 77, that's 3. 10 minus 7, 3. This is 7 minus 7, 0. So I just put here once again 0. I just get 2 again. 22. 11 twos are 22. 8 again. 11 sevens are 77 and so on. See, now already I have got the numbers repeated. I have 5.2727. So the number has been started repeating. So just stop here. So what do you get here? 5.2727. So write down here, children. We'll write down the answer part here. So we have found this value. Yes, so write down minus 58 upon 11 is equal to. I'm just going to take the divisions minus sign also. This is equal to minus 5.2727 dot. Because it's not completed. Yes, it's going on. So just put here dot. Dot means I did not get the remainder as 0. So you will go on getting the value. So just 3 dots are enough. Do not write as many dots you wish. Just write 3 dots. That's enough. Have you written? Okay. So what do you get here? Minus 5.2727. See, first I took only the positive number, so I did not write the sign here. So now here I am going to put a minus sign. Minus sign. So write down here. This is equal to minus. Now which number is repeated? 27 is repeated. So you'll write 5.27 bar. What are you going to write? 5.27 bar. That means the 27 is going to repeat again and again. So what is the thing we have done? So we have written the rational number into decimal form. The first work is done. We have written the rational number in the form of decimal. Okay, what is the second question we have to do? We have to find out the type of decimal expansion. What is the type of decimal expansion here? Is it terminating? Is it stopped here? No. The numbers are going on repeated. So what type of expansion is this? This is, write down, it is a non-terminating and recurring expansion. It is a non-terminating and recurring decimal expansion. Okay, so non-terminating means what? It's not going to stop. Recurring means what? It's going to be repeated. The number 27, 27, 27, 27, it will go on repeating. So this is called as a non-terminating and recurring decimal expansion. And one more question I have added there. Yes, children, I added one more question. What was the question added over there? If possible, I told you, if possible, find the length of the period of the decimal. So write down, therefore, length of period of decimals is equal to, what is the length of the period, children? How many numbers are going to be repeated? The two numbers, 1, 2. These two numbers will go on repeating again and again. So the length of period of decimals is equal to 2, because how many numbers are going to be repeated? Two numbers. So just mention your 2. So we have completed our sub part 2. Are you clear, children? So first we started with a mixed fraction. Now we converted the mixed fraction into a rational number. After converting the rational number, you have to change this into decimal number. After changing the number into decimal number, you have to write the type of expansion. After writing the type of expansion, you have to write the length of the period of decimal. Very simple sum. Have you completed, children? Stay on it fast. Just do it fast, children. Have you completed? Write down neatly. You have to write down one below the other. Just do not complete, say all the statements in one line. Complete the sum. Then you have to write the type in one line. Then you have to write the length in one line. So just use proper statements. Okay, children. So now let's continue with the next sum. Now here I have given you the second sum as homework. Okay, children. So today we have to start with the third sum. So take on the third question. It is in the next page. Go to the next page, 52. Take on the third question. Express the rational number 1 upon 33 in recurring decimal form by using the recurring decimal expansion of 1 upon 11. So what is given to you here? They are saying that you have to express the rational number. You know the meaning of rational number? What is a rational number? It is of the form P upon Q. That means you have a numerator and a denominator. What is a numerator? Suppose you have a fraction. If you have a fraction 4 upon 5, the upper part is called the numerator. The lower part is called the denominator. Lower. Denominator means what? Down. Denominator down. DD. Denominator, where is the denominator going to lie? Down. Numerator is the upper part. Okay. Let's read the question. So they're saying that you have to express the rational number 1 upon 33 in recurring decimal form. So you have to divide the rational number. Okay. Using the recurring expansion of 1 upon 11. So you are not going to divide 1 upon 33 directly. You are going to use, or you are going to express the rational number using 1 upon 11. So how are you going to get the answer for 1 upon 33? You are going to get the answer of 1 upon 33 from 1 upon 11. You are getting the statement? How to find 1 upon 33? You are going to find 1 upon 33 from 1 upon 11. So first, what is the thing you are going to do? You have to find 1 upon 11. After finding 1 upon 11, we have to find 1 upon 33. So here they have just given a statement. So you have to be very careful with the statement. Read the statement carefully. Understand and just think what to be done first, because your two rational numbers are given in the first statement itself. Okay, I'm just talking about the first statement. Okay, then what are they saying? Hence, right? 71 upon 33 in recurring decimal form. Hence. Hence means what? That means first. So here totally how many rational numbers are given? You have totally 3 rational numbers. One is 1 by 33, one is 1 by 11, and one is 71 by 33. Okay, children? So, what is the thing they have told? You have to find first 1 upon 11. From 1 upon 11, what are you going to do? You are going to find 1 upon 33. From 1 upon 33, what are you going to do? You are going to find 71 upon 33. So, these three are interlinked. You know, interlinked means one that is we are going to use a connection. We are going to connect all the three and we are going to get our answer. Okay, children? So take down the question fast. Write on question number 3. So do not get confused. Let us read the question once again. Express the rational number 1 upon 33 in recurring decimal form by using the recurring decimal expansion of 1 upon 11. By using. So you have to use 1 upon 11. So the question, the statement itself is clear that you are going to use 1 upon 11. And you have to use 1 upon 11. And what are you going to do? After getting the value of 1 upon 11, you are going to use the answer and you are going to find 1 upon 33. Okay. Hence, write 71 upon 33 in recurring decimal form. After getting the answer, you are going to find out 71 upon 33 from the answers that we have got. Okay, children. So here we are not going to do 3 divisions. Are you getting my point? You are not going to do 3 different divisions. We are just going to do 1 division. Shall we start with the sum? Let's start with the sum. So what is the first thing we are going to do here? We are going to do 1 upon 11. So start here. Sum number 3. Directly I'll start with 1 upon 11. Just put here 1 upon 11. And let's go for the division work. 1 upon 11, the denominator. What is the down number? 11. Down number will come out. So 11. 1. Do not write the bigger number in small. Don't go for bigger number, smaller number. Just think of a numerator and a denominator. The down number will come out. The up number will go in. The numerator will go in. The denominator will go out. So 11 and 1 there. So 1 divided by 11. Have you completed? Have you taken on this part, children? Have you taken the? Have you drawn the division line? Have you written the numbers there? Okay. Now let's go for the division. Now you have a number 1 which is less than 11. So the division is not possible. So first of all, I'll just write the number here because 11, I don't have any number relative near to 1. So I just take the number as 0. 11 into 0 is 0. So I just take the number as 0 because 11 into 1 is 11. So I cannot take 1s up. So I have to take the number lesser than that. So what you can take 11 into 0 is equal to 0. 11 into 0. What is the answer you are getting here? 0. So put here 0. It's 1. So 11 into 0 gives you 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. Okay, children? Now, again I have got a number 1 which is not, again I cannot write 0, 0, 0, 0. Yes, that is not a way of doing the sum. So what I am going to do, I am going to introduce a decimal point. I'll put a decimal point here. Okay, I have put a decimal point. Now once you write the decimal point, what you can do? You can add a 0. Okay, come on. I'm going to add a 0 here. Okay, so what did I get here? 10. Okay. Now 10, the number is 10. Is the number 10 multiple of 11? No, I don't have a number 10. The 10 is less than 11. Okay, getting my point, children? The 10 is less than 11. So which number are you going to choose again? You're going to choose the number 0 again. This is 0 minus 0. 11 zeros are 0. I get 10. Now what I'm going to do? Again I'm going to add 1 0 here. I'll add 1 0. 11. This is 100. So now, yeah. We don't have the number 100 in the table of 11, but we can find the closest number to it. So what you can do here is 11 9s are 99 and 11 10s are 110. This 110 is bigger than that. So I'll just take a number smaller to 100. What is the number smaller to 100? It's 99. So 11 9s are 99. Children, what is 100 minus 99? From 100, you're going to take 99. So what will be left? Only 1. So 1 is left here. 10, this is 9, this is 0. So 10 minus 9, 1, 9 minus 9, 0 and 0. So no need to mention the zeros. We'll just take 1 here. Okay. So now again what I'm going to do? I'm going to add again 0. I don't have 10 in the table of 11. So put here 0. 0. Again I'll put here 0. So 9. Again 1. Getting the point, children? So I just can observe the division that these numbers are repeated. Which numbers are repeated? 0, 9, 0, 9 will be repeated. So I'll just put here dot, dot, dot because I did not get the answer as 0. That is a remainder as 0. I'll just explain to you this division once again. We started with 1 upon 11. Now 11 is the denominator. The denominator part will be written outside and the numerator part should be written inside. Now 1 is smaller than 11, so it will not go in the table of 11, so you can just take the number as 0. So 11 into 0, you have to write down here 0. 1 minus 0 gives you 1. Then I am going to introduce your decimal point, and once we put a decimal point, you can add 0. When I put 0, again I get a number which is less than 11. So again I am going to put a number 0. So 10 minus 0 gives you 10. I can add a 0 again. So I get 100. So 11 into 9 is 99. The closest number to 100 is 99. So 100 minus 99 gives you 1. I'll add once again 1 0. Okay. So 10 is less than 11. So I'll put here 0. Again I'll add 1 0. I get 100. 11 nines are 99. So I get 9 again. So what is the answer I am getting here? 0.0909 dot 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 means what? The numbers will go on. Like see, again here I get 1, then I'll put here 0. Again I'll get here 0. Again I'll put 100. Again I'll get 9. So the number goes on. It's been recurring. Okay. So let's stop the division here and let's write the answer. So what are you going to do here? I'll write. You have completed the sum. So below the sum you write, therefore, 1 upon 11 is equal to 0.0909 dot dot dot. This is equal to 0.09 bar. 09 bar. 09 bar means which number is repeated? 09 is repeated. So 0.09 bar. So we got the first answer. I told you have to do 3 division. We have to find out 3 answers. But we are going to do only 1 division. And other answers all we are going to use one and the other and we are going to get the answer. I have told you they are interlocked. Okay, they are interlocked. So we are going to use the relation and we are going to find. So we have found the answer for 1 upon 11. What is the answer for 1 upon 11 children? It's 0.0909 which can be taken as 0.09 bar. 09 bar means the number 09 is repeated again. Okay. Now what is the next thing we have to find out, children? We have to find out 1 upon 33. What you have to do here? Using 1 upon 11, you have to find 1 upon 33. This is a very easy thing to see here, children. 1 upon 33. That is what we have to find out. So what are they saying? They're saying that you find 1 upon 33 using 1 upon 11. Okay. I'll write here 1 upon 11. Now just see. This is 1 upon 33. This is 1 upon 11. So I have to use this and have to find this. So what changes I'm going to do here is, I want 33. Okay. But what I have here? I have 11. So how can I change this? I'll just multiply by 3. So how can you write 33 as? 33 will be written as 11 into 3. 11 3s are 33. So what is the changes done here? 11 into 3. Now, I know the value for 1 upon 11. What is the answer for 1 upon 11? It's 0.0909 upon, what is there? 3. So what do you get? 0.0. 3 3s are 9. 0. 3 3s are 9. So I get 0.0303. Therefore, 1 upon 33 is equal to 0.03 bar. Very simple. The sum is done. Just see, I did directly. I have told you that we are just going to use 1 upon 11 and we are going to find out the answer for 1 upon 33. So what we have done here, we have written 1 upon 33 And how are we changing 33 as? 33 is changed as 11 into 3. Getting my point, children? 11 into 3. I know the value for 1 upon 11. What is the answer for 1 upon 11? 1 upon 11 is 0.0909. And this is in the denominator part. Okay. So upon 3. Do not write it. Do not multiply by 3. Okay, children? 1 upon 11 I have written in the numerator part. This is upon 3. So upon 3. So 3 zeros are 0, 3 zeros are 0, 3 threes are 9, 3 zeros are 0, 3 threes are 9. So I get 0.0303, which can be written as 0.03 bar, because the number 0303 is repeated again and again. So 0.03 bar. So I have found the answer for 1 upon 33. We have to do one more thing. Yes, we have to find out 71 upon 33 also. Just stay on the step. I'll tell you how to find out 71 upon 33. Okay, have you completed, children? Shall we go for the next division? Let's go for 71 upon 33. I'll just rub this part, children. This is the same sum, okay? We are just doing the third sum. It's a continuation. So 71 upon 33. So this is what I have to find out. 71 upon 33. Shall we do this sum? Let's see how to do this sum. Now for this sum, you are going to change this rational number in terms of mixed fraction. Okay, children, what are we going to do? We are going to change this rational number in terms of mixed fraction. Okay, so let's see how to change into mixed fraction. I'm going to divide this. See, I'll divide it. Oh, I'll divide this. I'll just divide it over here. 33 comes out. 71 goes in. So 33 ones are 33. 33 twos are 66. And 33 threes are 39. This is very simple table. Yes, 33 plus 33, 66. 66 plus 33, 99. So I've just taken the first three. You people, I know that you people may say that ma'am is writing 33 into 1. As you know that multiplication can be written as, if you write down 5 into 3, it's going to give you 15. And if you write 3 into 5, this is going to give you 15. Okay, children? So the way of writing, you can just write 1 into 33, or you can write 33 into 1. It's one and the same. Hmm? So you should learn the different ways of writing the multiplication. So I'm just using as 33 into 1, 33 into 2, and so on. Okay. So we have 33 and we have 71 here. I have to divide 71 by 33. So which is the closest number? 66 is the closest number. Yes. I cannot take 99 because 99 is bigger than 71. I have to take a smaller number than 71. So I can take the number 66. How many times? 2 times. Okay. I'll put your 2s are 66. 71 minus 66. Direct calculations. A mental calculation. 71. From 71, if 66 goes off, if you remove 66 from 71, how much is left? Direct calculations. 5. Okay. Okay, let's go for borrowing over here. 11 minus 6 is 5. 6 minus 6 is 0. So what is left here? 2 in the quotient. This is a quotient part and this is a remainder part. Remainder, quotient. Okay, so let's try to write down. I'll just put here, therefore 71 upon 33 is equal to, the quotient part will be written in the front. What are you going to do? Write quotient in the front. Write the remainder. You have to put a fraction. You have to just draw a line. The remainder part will go in the numerator part and the denominator part will be kept in the denominator part. 71 upon 33. Yes, so the denominator will be kept as denominator same, 33. And in the numerator part, you have to write the number 5, that is the remainder. And in the front part, you have to write the quotient, that is 2. So how are we changing this? See, 71 upon 33, that is the fraction. There is a rational number is written in the form of mixed fraction. It's 2 from the quotient, 5 from the remainder, and 33 is the denominator part that already we have. So this is the answer in mixed fraction. So now we have still not completed our sum. We have to go for further steps. Let's see what to do further. Okay. So this is 2, 5 upon 33. So this will be written as 2 plus 5 upon 33. So write down this is equal to 2 plus 5 upon 33. Okay. Have you taken the sum, children? So 71 upon 33 is equal to 2 5 upon 33. That is, we got, when we divide, you get the answer in terms of mixed fraction. After getting the mixed fraction, you can just write down as 2 plus 5. Just put a plus sign over there. So 2 plus 5. You can split this. Okay. 2 plus 5 upon 33. So now here, write down again. So this is equal to 2 plus. Now 5 upon 33. Okay. I know the value for. Now I'm going to write down this as 5 into 1 upon 33. How to write 5 upon 33? We are going to write 5 upon 33 as 5 into 1. You may have a confusion. I'm just going slow. I'm not just rushing out with the sum. We are just going slow. I'm just explaining the steps again and again. So understand the concept, children. These are the important questions. These are the important things that you have to remember. You have to use these concepts for other sums. Okay, you have to apply this. You have to understand the concept. So what we have done, first of all, we have divided 7 upon 33. This was in the form of rational number. We have changed this in terms of mixed fraction. So 7 upon 33 is written as 2 5 upon 33. So now what are we doing? We are splitting this. How are you breaking this? You are breaking this as 2 plus 5 upon 33. Okay, children? Okay. After breaking this, now I am coming to the second number. What is the second number here? It's 5 upon 33. So now what I'm doing here, I'm just keeping the numerator separately and I'm taking the denominator separately. So how I'm taking it? 5 alone into 1 upon 33. So 5 upon 33 is written as 5 into 1 upon 33. How will write 6 upon 28? 6 into 1 upon 28. Separating the numerator and the denominator. If you have 7 upon 35, how can you write this as 7 into 1 upon 35? Getting my point, children? So this is a way of separating a numerator and a denominator. Okay. Now, I have got the value for 1 upon 33. What was the value for 1 upon 33, children? We have already found there. Yes. What was it? 0.0303 and so on. So just write down 2 plus 5 into 0.0303. I have told you what are the first operations that you have to perform here. You have addition, you have multiplication. So what should be done first? Multiplication. Do not add, children. There you will make a mistake. You have to be very, very careful whenever you have two operations. Just apply the rule. So you have an addition and a multiplication. That means we have to do the multiplication part first. So this should be done first. So what is it? 2 plus. Let's multiply here. 0303 into 5. 5 threes are 15. Carry over 1. 5 zeros are 0. Anything multiplied by 0? 0. 0 plus 1, 1. 5 threes are 15. Carry over 1. 5 zeros are 0. Carry over 1. One decimal point is here. So point. 5 zeros are 0. So what you get here? 0.1515. I have multiplied, children. I get 0.1515. So now the next thing is you are just going to add these two numbers And be careful, children, you are going to add it properly. Do not just write 2. Some people, what they will do, they will put here 2 and they will complete the sum. That is totally wrong. See here, this is a number 2 and this is a decimal number. You don't have 2 decimal number here. One is a number, just a number, and one is a decimal number. So how to add this? This is 2 and this is 0.1515. So you can just put your 0, 0, 0, 0. As many zeros you wishes. Or you can just write the number 0.1515 plus 2 point, because 2, see, if I say 2 rupee, okay, if I say just 2 rupee, what does it mean? 2.00. That means you can add as many number of zeros after a number. After number. Just listen to my statement carefully. 2 is there means I can just put a decimal point. I just cannot do 2000. This is wrong. The value changes. This is 20,000. You have to put a decimal point and you can go on adding any number of zeros. So the value will not change. It remains the same. This is 2. This is 2. This is also 2. They are same, equal. But if I write 2 and if I write 20000, they are not equal. Okay. So what you can do? You can just put a decimal point and you can go on writing 0, 0. So 5, 1 plus 0, 1, 5 plus 0, 5, 1 plus 0, 1, 0 plus 2, 2. What is the answer? 2.1515. So write down, therefore, 71 upon 33 is equal to 2.1515, which is equal to 2.15 bar. Because the number 15 is repeated again and again. So which number is repeated here? 2 in 2.1515, the number 15 is repeated again and again. So you have to write down as 2.15 bar. Okay, children, let us write down the final statement over here. I'm going to write down the final statement. So we have totally found the 3 values. Okay. So let us write down all the value. Therefore, 1 upon 11 is equal to 1 upon 33 is equal to, and at the last, 71 upon 33 is equal. What is 1 upon 11? It's 0.09 bar, 0.03 bar, and 0.15 bar. This is the answer. So write down the final answer. 1 upon 11 is equal to 0.09 bar. 1 upon 33 is equal to 0.03 bar, and 71 upon 33 is equal to, yeah, this is 2.15 bar. Yeah, just make a correction here, children. It's 2.15 bar. Because we have read the final answer. Yes, I just wrote that answer. So you have to add with 2, so you get 2.15 bar. Okay, children. Now, let's go for the next sum. Take down question number 4. Write down question number 4. Express the following decimal expression into rational numbers. Write down the question. Express the following decimal expression into rational numbers. What is the first one we have? 0.24. So here it's like in a reverse order. In the first question you had been given with a rational number and they told you to write in a decimal number. Yes. And now they have given you the decimal expansion and you are going to write down in a rational number. So we are just going in a reverse order. Write down the sum number 4. Write down sum number 4. The first subpart. What is the first subpart given to you? It's 0.24 bar. Write down 0.24 bar. Shall we continue with the sum, children? Let's start with the sum. So write down here, let's start. Let x is equal to 0.24. What is the meaning of 24 bar? That means the number 24 is going to be repeated again and again. So 24, 24, 24. Dot, dot, dot. The number 2424 is going to be repeated. Okay. Now here, just tell me how many numbers are repeated? Two numbers are repeated. How many numbers are repeated? Two numbers are repeated. Listen carefully, children. It's a very important step that you have to listen here, that you are going to apply here. Here, the number 2, that not I'm talking about number 2. Here we have two numbers repeated, 2 and 4. Two numbers are repeated. That means you are going to multiply by 100. What are you going to do? You have to multiply by 100. If you have one number repeated, what you will do? Multiply by 10. 1 0. Two number means 2 0. So 2 0 means 100. 1 0 means 10. Please, if you have 3 numbers repeated, 1000. If you have 4 numbers repeated, 10,000 and so on. Are you getting my step, children? Good. Come on. So what are we going to do here? We are going to multiply by 100. Why I am going to multiply by 100? Because here the length of the period. What is the length of the period here? It's 2. That is 2 numbers are going to be repeated. So write down here, multiply by 100. I can just put here length of period is equal to 2. 1, 2. Length of period is 2. So multiply by 100. I'm going to multiply. Just take this as number 1. Put your number 1, children. So I have taken the question. X is equal to 0.242424. I have just repeated 3 times. We can just go on repeating any number of times. Okay. I have just taken 3 times. Put it as number 1. Multiply by 100. That is the length of the period is 2. So here 2 is there. So I am multiplying by 100. If 1 is there, multiply by 10. If 3 is there, multiply by 1000 and so on. Okay. So what I am going to do, multiply by 100. So 100 into x, 100x. What is 100 into x? 100x. Okay. Now, listen here, children. This is 0.2424. Okay, I am just taking the first number into 100. Now, what is the meaning of into 100? You are not going to do the normal calculations here. We have studied this type of multiplications in our lower classes. Yes. Into 100 means we have to shift the number to the left side. Where are you going to do? We are going to shift the number to the left side. See here. So this number 1, 2 goes to this side. That is before 0. The number shifts to the left 2 place left. Okay, simple terms how to say is the number goes 2 places left. So this 2 number will come before the decimal point. So you get 24.24. Getting my point? This is all you have done. So do not get confused. Okay, I'll just give you one more number. If we have a number, okay, 3.56 into 100. Okay, what is the number we have? 3.56 into 100. Now you are multiplying by 100. So what I have told you, if you are multiplying by 100, the number, okay, the number or, okay, simple terms, the decimal point shifts to the right. If I have to talk, I can just talk in 2 ways. If I say about the number will go to the left side. If I talk about the decimal point, it will go to the right side. Where the decimal point will go? It will go to the right side. Okay, shall we talk about the decimal point? Okay. That means 2. How many zeros are there? 2. The decimal point will go 2 places front. So 1, 2. So what is the answer? 356. If you have 3.5789 into 100, how many places the decimal point is going to move? 2. So 1, 2. So what is that? 3, 5, 7. The decimal point is coming here. So this is 0.89. So what is the answer? 357.89. Getting the point? Okay. I'll just give you one more example. If you have, okay, 0.363636 into 1000. 363636. 0.363636 into 1000. So, 3 places. So, 1, 2, 3. The decimal point comes here. So, 363.636. This is the answer. Clear? Let's get the answer for this. So now here I'm going to multiply by 100. So where the decimal point will go? 1, 2. See here it comes. So what you get? This is equal to 24.2424. Put this as number 2. Take this number as 2. The first one I took x is equal to 0.242424. I multiply by 100. Why I am multiplying by 100? Because the length of the period is 2. So 100. So when I multiply by 100, the decimal point will shift to the 2 places right. So 1, 2. It comes this side after 4. So 24 points. What is left here? 2424. Okay, children. Now 2 minus 1. So I have to take 2 and I have to take 1. So I'm going to take 2 minus 1. So 100x is equal to 24.2424. I have taken 2 first. What is 2? 100x 24.2424 minus. What is 1? This is x. What is the value? 0.2424. Don't take more numbers. Okay, just take the same numbers. So let me subtract it. What is 100x minus x? Here I can do the division. You may think that ma'am is going from starting from the first part. Always we do the subtraction from the last. This is not like your normal subtraction. Yes, children? We can just go with any order. I can just take the first, okay, or I can take this order. No problem. Okay, I'll just go with this order. 0, 0, 0, 0. 4 minus 0, 0 4. 24. This is 100x minus x. From 100x, how many x you are having? You are having 100x. And from 100x, you are going to take 1x. That means 99x. So what you have? 99x. So what will be the answer here? So what we have got here, just see. So we have 99x is equal to 24.000. So this can be written as 99x is equal to 24. Do not write this 0.000. That is no need. So you get 99x is equal to 24. Therefore, x is equal to 24 upon 99. I got the value for x. What is the value for x, children? 24 upon 9. So this was in the form of decimal expansion. So I have changed the decimal in terms of rational expression or rational form. Getting the point? So we have changed the decimal in terms of fraction. Are you clear with the sum? Okay, now let's mark for the homework. It's time for your homework. Yes, children, you're all waiting for the homework question. Yes. Yes. Okay. Let's go for the homework question. Homework is from sum number 4. Yes, sum number 4, question number 2. Yes, sum number 2 you will do. And other sums I will teach. One method I'll teach you. Just take down some more sums here. From question number 4, the second sum, okay, that is 2.327 bar. That's your homework. And now I'll just give you some extra questions. I don't have extra questions. I don't express the same, okay. You have to express the decimal into rational form. Same type, just add some more numbers, okay. Write down 0.39 bar, 0.876 bar. Second sum was homework. Yes, put this 3, take this as 4, and take the 5, one more sum, 5.37 bar. Around sixth one, 18 point, 6.479 bar. .39 bar. Okay. And then you have to take 0.876 bar. And then you have to do 5.37 bar. Let's try out the sums, okay. Then 6.479 bar. Okay, children, try out the sums. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 sums I have given you for homework. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. I just want you to try out the sum. Just see the number of places. So this is 2. So you have to multiply by 100. This is 3. So you have to multiply by 1000. Again, this is 2. So multiply by 100. Again, this is 3. So multiply by what? 1000 and so on. Okay. Try out the sum. You have to work out with the sums and you have to get ready with your homework sums. Try by yourself. Okay, children? Just go on practicing and you will get the answers. And we will be continuing with the remaining sums in the next class.